Yes, you're watching Wake Up Nigeria, and on Wellness today, we're joined by the phenomenal Buki Latunji, also known as Book to Lat. She's a visionary leader, a wellness advocate, and a mentor. And she will be discussing beauty from within, the science of glow-ups after 40. And this time around, we're talking about pro-aging because anti-aging is a thing of the past right now. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
You look so nice. I was just saying, you're making us green with envy at this point. You look so beautiful with the green.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we're discussing beauty from within and the glow-ups. What does beauty from within really mean? Because a lot of times, especially for women, we think it's how we look, our hair, our nails, our skin. But what is beauty, that glow up from within?
Okay, thank you so much. Well, beauty from within, you're not wrong about women, our hair, because that's really what makes us women. So when we're talking beauty from within, you know, usually like over 40, you wake up, I'm not looking as good as I used to look before. So, I mean, the default thing is to look for all the like things you're going to put on, you know, makeup, creams and stuff like that. But in today's world, we're talking about sustainable beauty comes from inside you. It is something that is cooked up from inside instead of fixed from outside. That's basically what we're talking about. It's not so much as topical has its own whatever, but for sustainable beauty, you need to look inwards. And what are we talking about? Okay, we're talking about what you put inside your body that will radiate out and give you a long-lasting glow, long-lasting radiance. And I think that radiance is really the most important thing. Yes. You know how they say you're glowing. It obliterates every other thing.
Yeah.
And that is basically what we want as lasting beauty.
Okay, so what are some of those things that you need to do? I know that for women that have reached 40 and above, they're a bit more confident now, and confidence also same as that glow up because you know who you are, you hone your skills, and you know you're that girl, right? But what are those things? If someone is saying I'm glowing from within, I have that beauty from within, what are those things that you can say, yes, I can see that?
Okay, so basically, one of the first things is nutrition. When we say there's new science that backs what we call the gut to skin connection. Now, I'm sure we've all heard that 70% of our immune system is in our gut, meaning whatever it is you take in, how your nutrients are being absorbed and stuff like that is what builds your immune system. Now, that immune system affects all the organs in our bodies. We now know that, of course, not that we know that our skin is the largest organ in the body.
Right.
And the issues of women over 40, perimenopause, menopause, declining hormones affect our skin the most. It touches our skin very quickly. Of course, it affects our moods, our mind, and stuff like that. So what you eat is very important. Now, why are we saying that? It's like the gut is like the root. You know, if you're trying to like a plant, it's like the root of a plant. The skin is like the flower. If you do not nurture the root, you will not get the flower to bloom.
True.
So if you just look at it from that point of view, so what you put in your gut really matters a whole lot. And of course, your mindset, your sleep is very, very important. When we sleep, that is when our bodies, our brain repairs all the things that need to be done in our bodies. So we need to make time for sleep. And the science says that the best time really is somewhere between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning, because that is really when what you call the lymphatics in your brain starts to remove all the toxins, and that's very important. And of course, our mind too. What are we consuming in our daily lives? What are all the toxicities that we carry? So we need to take time to relax. And so
yeah, I agree with you because, of course, if you're stressed, your cortisol level is going to rise and then it shows, you know, on your body. And for me, if I don't eat well or if I'm not even drinking enough water, I can tell because you look dehydrated. That glow that you want, you're not going to get it because your body needs to just get rid of all of those toxins. And it's so important, you know, you spoke about gut health, but there is this new fad or craziness about, you know, people taking collagen supplements, gut supplements and whatnot. Does that really help?
Okay, I was going to get that. For me, as much as possible, if make it natural, Okay, so when we're talking about gut health, we're talking about the things that would help your digestion to digest your food very well. So we're talking probiotics. And when we say probiotics, you don't really just have to reach for tablets. This food, fermented food, is full of probiotics.
Yogurt, I think yogurt, some yogurts
exactly.
have that.
Oh, that's it. That's actually what yogurt is, because that fermentation is what brings about good bacteria. So for me, you look at that, it's very good. And in terms of collagen, collagen is so important. When we're in that state of our hormones declining, those are one of the things that's one of the major things that affects in our system. And that is why we lose, our skin starts to look thinner, we start to wrinkle, stuff like that. Collagen is the largest protein in our skin. And once you're over 40, we start to lose, from 35, we start to lose 1 to 2% of collagen every year.
Even your skin elasticity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is because that is a connective tissue that holds your skin together. So if it's breaking down, so what are the natural things that you can do? Yes, collagen can be taken in, but in an hydrolyzed format, because it has to come at a way that your body can turn it into collagen. Then, of course, eating a lot of vitamin C rich foods. Now, that's where we get to the fruits and vegetables. Is what they've taught us since we were small. But kids, we don't even like eating vegetables. But as you get older, that should form like 60% of your meal, on a daily basis, so that you can get it. Vitamin C is an antioxidant that helps you to build collagen and so many other things. One other thing that I say is bone broth. Okay?
Ooh, okay.
Bone broth, it is full of things like, glycine, proline, that helps in building your collagen. And locally, you buy the bones, we throw it away, but honestly, cook the bones.
So do you boil them?
Yes, you boil the bones, for a long time.
Wow.
And all those things come out into the water, and then you drink it. That is bone broth.
I mean, I've never heard of that, so I'm learning quite a lot with this conversation. But I mean, I'll agree with you. Nutrition is super important. What you eat is almost like garbage in, garbage out. So what you eat is what you find. But how about, topical creams? Because you're speaking collagen right now. You're speaking of all of these words. There are people who tell you that I don't have to eat all of these, vegetables and whatnot. After all, I can slap something on my face and it will still give me the same. So do these work, or is that the best route?
For me, it's a temporary fix, and it's not just for me. It's the science. In short, if you look at the labels of most of those news, it says it may. What does that mean? It doesn't give you any permanent solution. The real permanent solution that takes you over a long period of time, that improves your health. Because when you're healthy, when you're happy, when your mood is great, you're going to look good. And that is the glow we're talking about. And that is really what is most important. So they have their own uses, but you don't depend on them, completely. Like they will say, people who really want to look a certain way have to do something. But I keep saying no. Like the face, of course, that is the first thing that people see. And that's where we always like women, like, I don't like how my face. But one thing that I recommend is what you call facial yoga. It works. It is what the Asians...
that thing that you use there's some tools.
Yeah, tools, but there's so many things that you can just do for your face. Because what facial yoga does is really to exercise the deep muscles of your face. We do have muscles in our face, but the deep ones, it's like you keep laughing and smiling, then it creates smile lines. Why? Because when you laugh or you smile or you frown, you're using the muscles. So you need to learn how to exercise the muscle to relax the muscles. Okay, so it's very, very important. It works. I mean, I'm sure that we know that Asians, they age very well.
Look at them.
You see, that's why the facial yoga is Asian, and we're finding out that it's the same muscles we all have, and it works. And I use it, and I can tell you that it works, because if you know my age, which a lot of people think, are you sure you didn't have an injection? No, but I said
I was about to go there, right? Speaking about, because a lot of young girls, you're seeing a lot of women, even in their 30s, they already have Botox, fillers, and whatnot. Is there a danger to that? Like, could that pose as a danger maybe when you're now in your 40s and 50s, and maybe it's now too tight and that glow from within, you might not have it?
Well, that's very important. That is such a huge question. And we do know that any procedure that you've done, it can have side effects at any point in time. But my own advice is, as a young girl, your collagen is still good, is still doing great. Just look at your nutrition and keep it that way. When you are much older, maybe when you are 65, maybe, because what you do when you're young now, at 18, at 25, at 30, is what will take you into the 60s, into the 60s, into your 70s. But if you're not doing them now, you are going to start sagging much earlier. So I think a lot of it is really like the fad. Everybody's doing it, but that's part of why I'm speaking now, that you don't have to get to the point where it's really bad before you start taking action. So for young people, please start eating well. Start eating balanced diet, start exercising, start moving, and you see that you're going to be together.
And I think there's a lot of misinformation out there, because some people will tell you, oh, it's better when you have Botox now when you're early, so it freezes your face, and then you get to do it, and when you're in your 60s, your face is not just recognizable anymore. But since you're speaking about exercising, let's talk about that. Does that really help? I know personally, for me, when I go to the gym and I sweat out, I feel like all of those toxins are coming out. I like how I see my skin, right? But is that, maybe it's just in my head, but is there a science to that? Because we're trying to put facts right now into all of the things we're saying. Is there any science to that, that, you know, when you're sweating or when you're moving your body, it actually helps that glow from within?
Definitely, great science, because first and foremost, you know, I talked about before that we start losing muscle, you know, from like after 35 to 40, we start losing muscle. And muscle is the engine that propels everything that works in our body. That is what helps our circulation to move. So exercise obviously helps your muscles to work better. It improves your circulation. And as circulation is key. Circulation to your brain. That means your brain works better. That means your mood is better. That means you're not depressed. You're not anxious. Okay? It circulates into your, you know, abdominal cavities, into your gut. Your food will digest better. So it's not just in your head. You are actually feeling much better. And when your circulation is working well, your lymphatics too will work well. And what is your lymphatics? All those things that we breathe in, pollution, what we eat, things that are not so great, and all that our liver is working. It helps all those things work well and take out the toxins from your system, because that is how we were made. It's like a machine. Okay, you have to keep moving it. But as humans, if you sit still for too long, okay, your circulation is compromised. And then things can't work well, even including your heart. And you find out now that because young people are on their phones, on the internet all the time, they're not moving as well. We're seeing diseases that ordinarily were associated with older people now, you know, manifesting in young people.
I think this has been such an insightful conversation, because I have learned a lot. I'm sure a lot of people at home, they've also learned a lot. But if you were just to give us 3 things that people need to start prioritizing now to wrap this up. I mean, you've come over and over again and you've given us so many things to think about, but 3 things, you know, just to say, this is what you need to be prioritizing at this moment.
1, that gut health. Gut health is very important. It's the most, for me, it's like the most important, because that is where the engine, when you eat, that's where it goes to.
Second?
So gut health is very important. Second, your brain. Okay, your brain, you have to sleep. So you have to sleep. Sleep is so important, 7 to 8 hours every day. Don't oversleep. It's very important. Not that you sleep like 10 hours.
Third one, we have to,
you know. And then third one, your mindset, the things that you surround yourself with. You learn to relax. You learn to take life easy. You learn to be
Zen.
To show
I think you should be Zen. Thank you so
Exactly.
much. You've been with us for the entire month, and the entire month of September we're speaking about wellness with you. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate all of the things that you've told us, and we hope that people at home will start to prioritize their wellness, their well-being, their health, and whatnot. Thank you so much, Vicky. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll go on a short break, but there's still so much more to come on Wake Up Nigeria.